Good morning, my lovely little ghosts, and welcome to the Dark Orchard. I'm Laura, and this is a craft video. As was said in my intro, this is a craft video. More specifically, I picked up some dollar store frozen sun catchers, and I'm going to paint them for you while we discuss Frozen Fever and Olaf's Frozen Adventure. So a while back, I was at the dollar store, and I found these. I'm so excited just holding these, just seeing these. I was so excited to see them on the shelves. I used to do these all the time. What they are paint your own sun catcher kits, and they're frozen themed. Sometimes the only way that I would get out of the house is if I would go out on the front porch and paint these kits. The ones I remember were Lisa Frank or animal themed, but they were so much fun and they were just so relaxing, and I just had so much fun just outside in the sun painting sun catchers, sitting out there slowly painting my own sun catchers. So today is going to be a very chillax video of me talking about Frozen and while I do some crafting. I picked up Elsa and Anna. We're going to go through both of them right now. So without further delay, let's get started. Okay, so let's break these down. It comes with 2 things to paint, a little thing of paints, a tiny little paintbrush that's a really crappy paintbrush, but it works for this, and then some string to hang it up with. Super exciting. And I think I'm actually going to start with the Elsas. So at this point, I did not notice that my sound wasn't working, despite actually looking directly at the screen that shows me if the sound is working. I don't know why I didn't notice, but I didn't notice. So for the entire first craft and part of the second, there was no sound. Which brings me to what you're hearing right now. This is my narration of the craft. I was talking about Frozen Fever during this craft. So I'm going to narrate what I was talking about as if I was talking about it in person, and you're just going to have to go with the flow with this one because I have no idea why the sound wasn't working. It was plugged in, everything was right. So here we go. With Frozen Fever, we start off celebrating Anna's birthday, and the whole premise of it is that Elsa is sick and she sneezes during the song. The Frozen Fever is actually just one big song, so the whole short is them singing this one song, Making Today a Perfect Day, or I believe it's just called Perfect Day. But it's really, really cute, and it's such a catchy song, and it just gets so stuck in your head all the time. As I said before, every time that Elsa would sneeze, because she was sick, she would produce these things that have been labeled Snokies, which are these adorable little snowballs with legs, and they start to wreak havoc throughout the whole birthday celebration, trying to mess up everything that's been done without really knowing. They're like toddlers, but they're Elsa's toddlers, and it's so super cute. And one really cute thing about the Snokies is that at the end of Frozen 2, we get to see Marshmallow, which is the giant abominable snowman kind of thing that Elsa created in the first movie, taking care of the Snokies. And that comes from the end of Frozen Fever, where they put all of the Snokies that Elsa has created with her sneezes into the Ice Palace with Marshmallow, who we saw at the end of the first movie was in the Ice Palace by himself, wearing Elsa's little crown and just enjoying his life. So the Snokies, super cute that they continue. But enough about the Snokies. Let's get into the dresses. Oh my goodness, those dresses are the most beautiful dresses ever. Well, in the Frozen universe, I couldn't exactly say that because the dresses in Frozen 2 somehow defy all fabrics imaginable, and yet I've seen a lot of cosplayers actually making them. But I want to make the dress that Anna wears at the beginning when she's talking about things never changing. That dress was showcased at Saks Fifth Avenue, and it was so gorgeous when I first saw it. The first looks at it with the dolls, and I absolutely fell in love. It's that beautiful ivory dress with the orange underneath and then a chiffon orange petticoat. Oh, so gorgeous. And the silk bow around her waist, I can't deal with how beautiful it is. Oops, I totally got way off topic there. Back to Frozen Fever and those dresses. Anna's dress with the sunflowers was so pretty. I love how Elsa jazzed it up a little bit by adding the bedazzle to the skirt and to the top, and just like those small little jewelry details made that dress even more pretty. So I'm gonna shut up about dresses and shut up about Frozen Fever because I'm done with the first craft. So I'm finished with the Elsa dream catchers, and we're gonna move on to the Anna dream catchers, but the Elsa ones turned out really cute. Alrighty, now that I'm getting started on the Anna sun catchers, we're going to talk about Olaf's Frozen Adventure. And I'm just going to talk about a few things that I enjoyed from Olaf's Frozen Adventure and some of the cute, quirky things that I noticed during it. So with Olaf's Frozen Adventure, we see Olaf trying to figure out what Anna and Elsa's family tradition should be, because this takes place during the winter holiday, and everyone else is celebrating their own family traditions, but Anna and Elsa don't really remember theirs, they don't know theirs. So Olaf goes on this grand adventure throughout the village, trying to find out what tradition that the villagers have could possibly work for Anna and Elsa. My favorite traditions that he encountered were, of course, the kittens, and then the fruitcake. And the fruitcake was just absolutely funny, and I'm one of those people that actually enjoys fruitcake, but it may just be because I live in North Carolina, and in North Carolina we have a fruitcake factory. I believe it's somewhere around the Charlotte area, near Burlington, I believe, but that fruitcake is like a specialty fruitcake, and it's actually delicious. But the joke in Frozen is the joke with most fruitcake jokes. It's sort of the butt of every joke, and in Olaf's Frozen Adventure, it's still the butt of the joke, and it survives through everything. So that's a really funny thing that they put in there. And Olaf's song during this part, the That Time of Year song, super catchy, really love it. Sort of replacing like You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch for me, because like the holiday-esque kind of songs, I think That Time of Year is a really, really cool, even though Frozen themed, a really cool holiday song, and I'm glad that they gave us that. Like, it's just another one to add to the list, and not to mention the voice actress for Elsa, Idina Menzel. She came out with so many holiday songs this past year, and she actually has done a holiday album, and I absolutely love it. Josh Gad, the voice of Olaf, accompanied her in I think 1 or 2 songs. So if you haven't heard the holiday album and you're that kind of person that loves holiday music, totally check that out, because I don't even like holiday music, but I love that because I love her voice. But anyway, that's babbling, that's too much. Back to Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I absolutely cannot talk about a single Frozen thing without talking about the outfits. So let's just take a moment, take a pause, talk about the outfits, because I absolutely fell in love with Anna's outfit in this short. And I know it's like a 21-minute short, so it's not really a short, but I'm calling it a short. Fell in love with Anna's dress because it's sort of like a soft snuggle flannel blue dress that has a skirt, a bodice, and of course a little coat over top of it, and I want to make it so bad. I've already got the snuggle flannel in my cart on Joann's.com, and I want it very desperately because I think this is the absolute cutest outfit that Anna wears. Like, it's not the best, it's not the one that I want to make the most, but it's the cutest, and it's in my queue waiting for me to make it, and I need to make it. Love that dress. Love Elsa's dress too. I don't look good as a blonde, so the Elsa thing, not so much, but her dress is gorgeous too. And I'm overwhelmed with the amount of Anna cosplays that I could potentially do between Frozen, Frozen Fever, Olaf's Frozen Adventure, and Frozen 2. Oh my gosh, Frozen 2. Can we just take a pause, just like one small, put a pin in Olaf's Frozen Adventure and go to Frozen 2 for 1 second again? Just one more second, and talk about a Disney princess wearing black through 90% of the movie. It made me so happy. Like, that's my aesthetic. That's 100% my aesthetic, and I love it. I love it so much. But anyway, if you'll turn your attention to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you'll realize that I've just realized my microphone was not recording at all the entire time that I was crafting. So this is me blinking and trying to figure out what I'm gonna do, if it's a possibility of me to voice over what's happening here. So this look of confusion on my face was genuine, and I didn't know what to do. But as you know from what you're hearing right now, I chose to voiceover, and I hope you've enjoyed this voiceover because it's almost finished and you're about to actually see real-time talking for the rest of my Olaf's Frozen Adventure commentary. Okay, so I just realized that absolutely none of what I've been saying for the last hour has been recorded. So you've probably just experienced a whole bunch of voiceover over top of me looking at the camera and it not going with my voice at all. So I apologize. I apologize you had to go through that. But while I did the Elsa, I talked about Frozen Fever, and now that I'm doing the Anna, I'm talking about Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I've said a lot of stuff. I probably won't remember all the things I've said, but it is what it is. It's my fault for not checking my microphone, but it's on now. I see it going do. It's on now. So I'm talking about Olaf's Frozen Adventure. I've talked about the fruitcake. I've talked about the sleigh. So now I'm talking about Kristoff. I'm talking about Kristoff because in Olaf's Frozen Adventure, we get to see him in a ceremonial outfit. And that ceremonial, I can't say that word. In this outfit, he looks adorable. Yeah, he does. Frozen 2 isn't the first time that we got to see Kristoff all dressed up. And I really like that. Because, after all, he is the soon-to-be future king of Arendelle. So it's nice to see him dressed up for once, instead of looking like a reindeer herder. This is one ugly color, let me tell you. Oh, but it's not so ugly on here. Okay. No! I totally just spilled that. The whole Belle of Arendelle tradition is so super cute too. Like, did not expect that to be a thing, but so glad that it is. I think it's really cool. I love all the details that they put into this short. Like, the food alone. At that table, for the brief second that we see the food on the table. That's really cool. Like, they put a lot of thought into what they put on that table. It's like actual, like, Nordic, Norwegian-ish foods. I'm not quite sure exactly what origin they are, but it's foods that you would see in those areas, which is really cool. Like, it's not just like a turkey and some cranberries, the TV traditional kind of feast. It's a traditional feast for that area, and that's really nice. Disney puts a lot of details into things that most people barely even notice. This paint is actually really sticky. Yeah. I don't like it. So I really love the ending. I love that they figure out that Olaf has been their tradition all along, because Olaf is the one thing that kept them together when they were apart. Which takes us back to the "Do you want to build a snowman?" I really enjoy how all of the movies tie in together, and how Frozen very seldomly forgets about a character, especially if they're a very loved character. For example, Oaken. Oaken from the Wandering Oaken Trading Post, and one of my absolute favorite characters. He's so funny. And he makes an appearance in, I think, every single Frozen short and movie so far. I haven't seen the Lego one. Don't hurt me. I'm not a Lego fan. I'm just not. I'm no Tim Tracker. I'm no fan of Legos. But, I mean, I like Legos. Don't get me wrong. Legos are fun to play with, but animated Legos? Nah. So, I haven't seen the Lego movie, and obviously I haven't seen the Frozen Lego movie short. I don't know what it is. But I guess being a Frozen enthusiast, I should probably give it a try and at least see what the storyline is. But with the 2 shorts and the 2 movies that represent fall, summer, spring, and winter, they do not forget about Oaken. And I like that. I do find it odd that Oaken lives in the village after the first movie. Like, that he just moved his whole family and the spa and everything into the village inside Arendelle instead of in the forest. I thought that was strange, but welcomed, because then we get to see him more, and he doesn't feel like a convenient plot device like he was in the first. He actually feels like a character that is just there, that we love. So, biggest question down in the comments, aside from the main characters, who's your favorite character from either the shorts, the first movie, or the second movie? Because, oh my gosh, there are so many lovable characters in all of the new stuff. Frozen 2 gave me so many new characters to love, and it makes me so happy. Like, for one, it makes me happy that there are characters in Frozen 2 that I can love without feeling guilty, unlike Hans. You know how I feel about Hans? We'll get back to that. Let's look at these first. So there's the first one. These are super sticky. Ew. Gross. And there's the second one. Evie. Phoenix. Cutie. For Frozen 2, I'm really glad that I don't have to feel guilty about liking certain characters, unlike Hans, who just stole my heart anyway. But the new characters, I don't have to feel guilty about liking them. And I think my favorite character from Frozen 2, besides main characters, would have to be Ryder. Ryder was just really adorable and just so wholesome, and I liked him. I liked him a lot. So, Ryder for that one. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you come around again soon. Say bye. Bye.